Hello everyone, welcome back to Base Damage. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Saekano movie finale set, the third and final one in the Saekano series, at least from what I've seen on the JP side. The only one that we've gotten confirmation so far on a confirmed release date, that being April 19th of 2024. So I'm recording this very early into the year before it comes out, so if I don't remember any of the shit for the set by the time that the set actually drops, please forgive me. I do want to actually pick up this set, or at least pick up some cards from this set. I like the Michiru cards and stuff like that, so I will be trying to grab those. But for the most part, we're going to hop over here to the spoilers page on Weiss Tea Time and take a look at what all we have in store. So I know, like, it actually said finale on the English Weiss site, but it is like on the JP side. If you go to look for the same cards, it'll say fine, which is musical terms and stuff like that. Big shout outs to 12 because I know he's a big Saekano fan from the Discord. But let's hop right into it because I have a lot of talking to do today. I'm recording a shit ton of videos today to try to knock some out. But all right, so we're gonna start. Obviously, for anyone who's ever been with us for going over the set reviews and whatnot, I've changed up how I do the presentations. Instead of talking about every single card, I try to at least highlight the double rares in every single color, and then I'll look over every single card, and then if I find one of interest from the rares and lower, I'll at least highlight them and try to talk about them. So we're going to start with the yellow double rares. The first one is this 00 Eriri. It is a 2500. When this is sent from stage to waiting room, look up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 climax amongst them, add it to your hand, send the rest to your waiting room, and if you added a card, you have to discard 1 card. So that's understandable. A little bit of milling, try to get towards your climax combos. And as I scroll down, we're already going to see one major thing for this. And I don't mind this as much. The SPs still look very nice. So we do have the Edity SP up here for all the double rares and everything, for the Izumi as well. But before we do continue on the effects, I do want to point out the secret rare does have an alternate art. One thing I prefer so much more when a set, when the higher rarities of them, whether that be the SPs, triple rares, SRs, and stuff like that, when they have alternate arts, look so much better. And so you can differentiate between the cards, you know, like in terms of like, because it's an alternate art, it actually, like, in my mind, feels worth collecting more, as opposed to just a little bit of a zoom out and, you know, hot stamp or whatever to the side, which is another, the hot stamp thing is another thing to discuss. I don't know if we're getting SPs, like signatures for this set, because, I don't remember if they did it for the first set, but for the second set, they didn't actually have the signs. They just had hot stamps. And so that's another thing that kind of drove down the value, but that's whatever. But, alright, so I do like seeing, like, say, with the secret rare, the fact that it is an alternate art instead of just zoomed out. So, let's continue. The next one is this double rare 10 Izumi. It's a 4K. During your turn, if you have a card in memory, this gets +1 level and 2500 power. So already that tells me maybe Izumi herself has something specific to do with memory. I don't remember a lot of the Izumi cards from the first 2 sets. A lot of my knowledge of the first 2 sets are just going to be the Michiru cards. I'm going to tell you right now. So if there's like a throwback to something in the first 2 sets, I'm not going to remember it right now. I'm going to be real. But maybe she does have something to do with memory. We'll see as we go along. She does have a climax combo, though. When this attacks, if you have the choice trigger in your climax area, and you have 2 or more other game characters, look at up to 4 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 game character, or Little Love Rhapsody, I'm assuming is an event. From amongst them, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, send the rest to waiting room, and if you added a level 3 or higher character, choose one of your characters this turn, it gets +1 soul. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be game-breaking, but I've noticed this effect on... I'm trying to remember what other set it was. There was another climax combo that was similar to this that stated if you added a level 3 or higher, it might have been Arifureta, that the character, like off of an effect similar to this, if you added a level 3 or higher character, you got a power boost. You got it was like a plus 3k boost or something of that nature. So cool to see that here as well. We have a 3-2 entity, so it's a 3-2 10k. When the choice trigger is placed in your climax area, if this is in the front row and you have another game character, choose one other copy of this card or a particular 3-2 Utaha in your waiting room and place it on your stage in any slot. Okay, so okay, I'm just once again just looking it over again, making certain I'm not misreading anything. So you can summon more copies of it or summon the Utaha. So it makes me question. Oh, you can summon more copies of this anyway. So it makes me question what the synergy with the Utaha is. So funny enough, it's going to be number 69. So there you go. Nice. So I do have to question if the Utaha is going to have like some synergy with this particular entity being on the field. Maybe especially if it combos with the same climax. Just saying. Because Utaha, I'm certain, was red. So it's just going to be interesting overlap with that color-wise. Also has an effect. At the start of your attack phase, you may put all of your hand and stock into the waiting room. Getting a Kagi Kai vibes here. Which that was forced, it wasn't optional. If you sent 5 cards to the waiting room, choose one other copy of this particular entity in your waiting room and place it on stage in any slot. So you do still get to play the climax, summon another copy of itself, or the Utaha. Okay. And then when this attacks, you may mill 1, which for those who don't know what milling it is, it's sending cards from the top of your deck. So this is stating you can send 1 card from the top of your deck to the waiting room. If that card is a game character, deal X damage to your opponent. X equals the level of the milled card. Now, that does state if you mill a level 0, because you're running 25 level 0s in your deck, then you won't burn anything. Just throwing that out there, just stating, which makes it interesting for like a standby build. Maybe the Utaha has like some standby shenanigans, because you're gonna typically run like a higher count of level 1 and higher for standby. So could be very interesting for that particular thing. And that is gonna be it for the double rares in yellow. But we are gonna glance through several of these. Already right off the bat, we see this entity is a climax swapper. Now, once again, I don't remember the first 2 sets, like, for the most part. I don't remember the Michiru cards having a climax swapper, but maybe the other 2 ones did. And it has an alarm effect for, if this is on top of your clock, you can draw and pitch 1. This also has synergy with another Utaha. When you pay the cost for the act effect of a 2-1 Utaha, you may put 1 marker underneath this card to the waiting room. Okay, cool. So it lets you pay for some stock. It lets you get the brainstorm as well. Always good. Pay 1, tap self, mill 4 for each salvage. Okay. We do have another climax combo. I'm going to read this real quick. Okay, first off, I prefer climax combo level 1s that keep an attack buff instead of just, oh, this gains like 5 billion attack, but now it's like a 2,000 attack, fucking defensively. So offensively and defensively, minimum, if you have 2 or more other game characters, she's going to be a 106k. Already liking it. On attack, very good, not on reverse. If you have the choice and you have 2 or more, or if you have the top 3, your opponent chooses 1 character. It's the Weiss. Okay, it's the Weiss double rare. Yay. Fun. Alright, well, that was short-lived. Let's go on. Every 2... This is interesting. At the start of your attack phase, for every 2 cards in your clock, perform the following effect, which is target a game character. It gets 2k power. So if you're sitting at, like, 6 damage, you can give plus 2k across the board. Like 2k 3 times, which can stack to 6 for 1 character. It's whatever. Oh, this is interesting. So a 2/2, so it's potential standby target. I always think about a lot of these sets in terms of standby. I'm sorry. If you have 2 or more other game characters in memory, It doesn't have to be different names. It could just be two of the same one. But it does have to be characters. In case there was like an event that goes to memory, it doesn't count. This gains 4K. Okay. Another level 3 climax combo. Oh, this is also cool too. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can put a game character from your waiting room on the bottom of your clock. If you do, at the end of this turn, send up to 2 cards from the bottom of your clock to the waiting room. Deal yourself a damage to heal 2 at end of turn. It accomplishes the same thing as like a standard healer, but you don't have to pay stock. It's the cost that's the main thing, is you're not having to pay stock or pitch hand. So this could still be fairly decent as a rare. When this attacks, if you have the choice, if you have 4 or more other game characters, perform the following effect. If you have 5 or less in clock, you can deal 1 to your opponent. If you have 6 in clock, you may deal 3 damage to your opponent. Interesting. Okay, so like the idea is to purposely manipulate how many cards are in your clock to make certain that you hit the 6. Okay, because that's really crazy. Like, you clock yourself to like 3/3. You play 3 of these. Clock yourself via their effects to 3/6, and then where it says if you attack and you have 6 in clock, you may deal 3 damage to your opponent. If they somehow survive, you heal 6 total off of 3 copies of this. Okay, that's actually really fucking cool. You purposely, unless you're about to refresh, which I guess you could like kind of play around that. Like, you could still drop like 2 or 3 of this, and you just like for the third one or whatever, you would put yourself to like 3/5. Like, if you're about to refresh, you swing, trigger, you know, that's what I'm saying. It's like you would somehow manipulate it so you're at 3/6, which is still very dangerous if your opponent just happens to have the first thing I thought of, there's like a level 2 Nino backup. Future me, please put it on screen now. There's a Nino backup that's like, if all of your characters are Nino, when your opponent when you use the backup, pay a cost to burn for 1. Or if you have, or what was it, like the Hololive standby deck with the Luna? All it takes is them nuking 1 of these to try to burn you for 1, and you are dead. So it's a very risky gamble, but the trade-off is you're swinging for 6 packets of damage, each of them being at least 3 soul or 3 damage, because with the choice trigger, she'll be at 3 soul, barring triggers or anything of that nature. So it'll be 3/3, and then for each one of your characters swinging, it's 3 damage, then 3 damage, then 3 damage. You get it. Okay, so even on a rare, I'm sorry, we've sat on this one long enough, but this is actually really cool, but it is very, very risky. I like it though. Mill Brainstormer, or what was the word I was thinking? It's spammable Brainstormer. That's what I meant to say. We got Trigger Check. Okay, so we do have a thing with like memory. When this is sent from stage to waiting room, you can pay 1 to send it to memory. The only reason I'm highlighting this is because we had 2 or 3 cards already that stated they involve memory. Now here's the thing though. It says if this is in your memory at the start of your climax phase, you can discard a card, put this face down. If you do, search your deck for a game character. So the thing is, say for something like this, I don't know how the ruling on this is. I need to look this up. It says 2 or more game characters in memory, and even where was the other one? I swear there was another one. What am I don't know. Anyway. I don't know if they need to be face up to recognize that it's a character. Because if this is in your memory but it's face down, you recognize that it is a card, but it's when it's face down in other games, a lot of the rulings for that is that if it's face down, it's an unknown. Think about I think the Persona 5 calling card events, that put cards like into memory, I think they all put them face down, like initially. So even that, like obviously that's going to be considered an unknown. But even if you like in terms of how card effects read, I mean, obviously if you see the fucking Tomoya's in there and then it gets put face down, you as player know that it's a fucking character there. But in terms of how cards read it, I'm not certain on the ruling for Weiss specifically. In other games, it's typically considered a unknown. So if he does go face down, characters like this entity could lose their buff. Just something to keep in mind. So, I mean, here, see, this just states if you have a card in memory. So whether the Tomoya is face up or face down, the wording of this doesn't matter. It's still a quote-unquote card in memory. So if you do have a card in memory, this gets 1,500 power. When this or the character's battle opponent is reversed, that character can't use Encore, like the Connie from AOT. Get a level 3 assist that you can pay to and rest her to heal 1. Sorry, I realized I didn't look at this properly. Oh, it's another. So alarm is like a big continuance in this. So reunite Tomoya. I realize I'm already like 17 minutes into this. I need to speed through. But it is like, I feel that a lot of those were valid questions. Oh, this is cool. Up to 1 time per turn when this was placed on stage from hand, put a game character from your waiting room on the bottom of your clock. Once again, Izumi's like, I'm dealing myself damage to do stuff. So, I mean, you could also play this. If you do this turn, this gains up to once per turn when damage dealt by this is cancelled, deal 3 damage to your opponent. So, in case you don't get copies of the other level 3, you could still drop this and push yourself to that 3-6 sweet spot. But it does... I guess that's like symbolic of like the deadlines they had to meet with making the game in the series. It's like pushing yourself to like 3-6 is like you're down to the wire type thing. So, maybe? Like pulling it off at the last possible second. Anyway. But as opposed to this doesn't heal that damage at the end of the turn, where the other one does. So, Izumi's like actually like seeming to have some cool shit. Okay. Stock bomb. Anti-runner, very cool. The other game character is sent from stage to the waiting room. You can pay a cost to sit. So it's a buffer and can bring back. It can save characters and give them a buff. Put a game character from your waiting room on the bottom of your clock to bond a set 1. So I don't remember what that entity is at all. But so it does interact with the older sets. That's cool, and it also can rest itself to buff that same entity. I'm assuming it might be like a vanilla. Well, it says double rare, so it's probably not a vanilla. Okay, so either way, some entity from the first set. I don't remember what it does. That's cool, but it can give it plus 2,500 power and a soul. So maybe this is significant for some people still playing cards from set 1. So hey, that could be very cool. If you have a card in memory, this gets 500 power, and your opponent can't play backup from hand. And it's a level 2 Slayer, so it can become like a... it doesn't get as big as most level 2 Slayers, but it can become a 10-5, and your opponent can't play backup from hand. So that is kind of cool. We have a anti-change, people call an Adachi. Fuck off with that name. It's in the bottom. It is a anti-change stock bomb. I realize that is a much shorter term, but it is a hell of a lot easier for people to understand. A 2,500 backup that can grab back itself if you pay an extra stock. Pretty cool. Oh, this one, this Izumi works with a, once again, God, not having, that's a good point. So Little Love Rhapsody that we saw at the very beginning has the same initial start, the card code right here, W56, as the set 1 Izumi, W56. So even that event we mentioned at the very beginning is more than likely from set 1 as well. I'm just going to assume that is. But it gives a buff to that 3-2 Izumi from set 1. When this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, you can pay 1, pitch in the event, and heal 1. Okay, so on top of whatever else it already does, and it gives a global 15 to characters with Izumi in its name. Are we going to see, like an Izumi-centric deck could come out of this? So, we're in the events. What do we got? Choose one of the following 2 effects and perform it. Huh. Okay, so it only lets you play 1 a turn. If you have 6 clocks, search your deck for 1 card. Add it to... Oh, okay, cool. So you could use those 3/2 Izumis, push yourself to 3/6, play this event, and search for the climax. Okay, interesting. It's a lot of risk and cards that work with it. Unless there's one that's like, if there's a fucking card later on that's like, if you play this, you can't take refresh damage or some shit. At which Ben and Steve will be sad that they can't take the refresh point. So, but you can't play extra copies of it. Everything is choice trigger. Just throwing that out there. But we're into the greens. See, okay, this is very, very cultured. Let's go to the first green, this double rare 0/0 Megumi. It's a 2K. When this is sent from stage to waiting room, you can discard 1 card. If you do, look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to 1 game character amongst them. Show it to your opponent, add it to hand, send the rest to your waiting room. And if you have no green card in memory, send this to memory. Okay. Interesting. So just gets your memory stuff rolling once again. The 3/2 Megumi, this is going to be interesting because both of these... Oh, that's a rare, but it still has a climax combo. That's cool. So the only other double rare is this... in green is this 3/2 Megumi. It's a 95. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can put 1 card from the top of your clock to waiting room. If you have 4 or more other game characters, you may send it to stock instead of the waiting room. Interesting. Okay, so if you do play this, if this is the 5th card that you play, or 5th character that you have play on field, and you have 4, so you have 4 or more others, you can send us. Oh, okay. So I'm going to say right now that's very interesting because a lot of times for these stock healers, you have to pay a cost. You typically have to discard a card from hand. So this lets you heal to stock as long as it fulfills the condition of 4 or more other game characters on field, which is very easy to pull off. So that's cool. Which is, it's also going to be needed because the climax combo, when this attacks, if you have the gold bar in play and you have 2 or more other game characters in memory specifically, you can pay 1, pitch 2. If you do, deal 3 damage to your opponent. All level 1 or higher cards revealed by this damage is... Hey, yo, what the okay, whoa. All level 1 or higher cards revealed by this the damage placed in your clock... They're placed in the clock in the order they're revealed, even if the damage is canceled? Hey, yo, what? Okay, so it's only for the 3 damage off the burn. Right? I'm reading, like, it's not from both the burn and her effect. I'm assuming it's just off the burn. But that's hilarious. So I know I clown on, you know, people who run 24 or higher level 0s. But I mean, this would, honestly, doing so would save you in this case. And standby decks that are running higher level 1 and higher counts would get hit by this way harder. So even if like 2 of them are level 1 or higher cards, and then the 3rd card would be a fucking climax to negate it, the climax goes, but the other 2 stay. That's actually crazy. That I can see this being a thing where people are really trying to push for this. I don't know. I would love to see Saekano get some tops off of this kind of bullshit. I just think it'd be hilarious. Okay. Sorry. I'm like, I had to realize, like, I saw even if the damage is canceled and my brain went, hold up, read that again? So, okay, cool. You know what, Saekano? 2 claps. There you go. Let's continue on. Okay, so now it's the rares and lowers. So we do have a person trying to spam call me, and I don't know this number. When the salvage trigger split soul. Hold on, 58. I'm gonna read that real quick. The what now? Salvage trigger. Oh, it's one of those things that's like. Okay. So I don't know what it actually fucking does. Give me a second. Just sloop back up here. Sluice. When you play the climax, if you have 2 or more of the game characters, you pick a character to give it the twin drive effect, which is you perform trigger check twice. And just to note that she does have a soul trigger. So let's try to blitz through these, though. Level 0 clock bomb. Lets you add a specific... It lets you send it to memory to grab back a specific climax. To add back a specific Megumi. It says 62. But we're trying to get to 69. Oh, it's this one. So it adds back this red Megumi. Okay, cool. Interesting. Alright, swooping back up. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. It was... I went down too far. Okay, it was this one. Send one character with Megami in its name from your memory to waiting room. If the battle opponent is level 1 or more. Oh, okay, it's a clock bomb, but the cost isn't like getting... Well, I mean, you still have to get reversed, but then you also have to put a character with Megami from your memory to waiting room. Whatever. Utaha combo. At the end of this card's attack, if you have 2 or more game, you get to look up to the top 4. Choose up to 2 game characters from amongst those, add it to your hand. So you do have to sack the bar, so you can't pull it off multiple times. So that's the only downside. If you have 2 or more memory, all cards in your memory have Megumi in its name. This gets -1 level in hand. Once again, to reiterate, not just the thing about the Tomoya, not being a character. If there was some way to turn the Megumi's face down, once again, other games, it would state that it can't read that this card would not know that it has Megumi if it's face down. I'm just stating. So you want to keep it face up for the effect, more than likely, is what I'm assuming. But it has a very interesting early play condition, considering this deck can probably pull it off very easily. Choose one of your level 1. Oh, you get to downgrade. I got you. If you have... At the start of your attack phase, if you have the gold bar... Oh, you get to get rid of an opponent's front row level 3 or lower character. And then you reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a game character, choose one of your opponent's back row level 2 or lower characters and send it to waiting room. So you could potentially get rid of like several characters with this. So, especially if there's like some annoying shit. So, I had to get a drink. So this Megami, if this is in waiting room and you don't have a copy of this in memory, this counts as the 3/2 Megami from the first set. I'm assuming that has some significance. So, place on stage from hand. Top check. If it's game, add to hand, discard. If this is in memory and you don't have another copy of this card in your memory, when your other... I don't know what these do. So, when another particular 3/2 Megami attacks from set 1, if you have the set 1 gold bar in play, you can deal 1 damage to your opponent. So this is specifically helping set 1. Okay, that's cool. We do have green Utaha. I thought she was just red. Oh, okay, so she's green and red in this. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Does some marker shenanigans. We're moving on. When this attacks, if you have 6 clock this turn, this gets 8k power. Okay. During the turn this is placed on stage from hand at the start of your climax phase, choose up to 2 game characters you're waiting on. At the end of the... Okay, so even this is like trying to push you to having 6 cards in clock, even at lower levels. It's funny enough that there's like it's technically a healer at level 1. It's just kind of funny, but she could push herself to like math 12-5. This, if you do this combo, this fucking level 1 gets bigger than the designated level 2 Slayer. So just throwing that out there. And this doesn't have the can't use backup, so whatever. When the gold bar is placed in your comics area, pay 1 pitch to search your deck for a specific 3/2 entity, which was this one, the number 39. So you can summon out that level 3 entity much earlier. Oh, and it even has like a rest this to put that, if you don't have any entities in the deck, because you do summon it from the deck, you can put one from the bottom, from your waiting room to the bottom of your deck. So, really cool. Let's see. If you have 2 or more game characters in memory, this gets 1500 power and Encore. And this is a level 3 Slayer, so I mean, it goes 12-5 plus 15. So this could become like a 14. So, kind of cool. Not the craziest thing in the world, but still kind of cool. 3/2 Reunite Megami. If you have 2 or more other characters with Reunite in its name, this gets 2k. So that already tells me there's going to be multiple characters with Reunite. Probably all the girls are probably going to have an... Except Izumi. Did Izumi have Reunite? Sorry, just going back real quick. I'm assuming... Oh, no, there's a Reunite Iori. So I need to keep an eye out for the ones that say Reunite. Okay, so there is a 2/2 Reunite. Okay. Please do not watch if you have epilepsy. Okay, so I mean it does count like your level 1s, your level 2s, so there's like at least 2 others. Discard 1 character with Reunite in its name when this direct attacks. If you have 2 or more game characters, you can heal 1. So this makes me think there's going to be a whole deck based around the Reunite in its name. So, also it heals 1 on play, if I didn't state before. When an opponent plays a climax, you can bounce this to stock. Okay, I'm just glancing through real quick. Also, very nice, just really kind of cool artwork there. And by cool, I mean it's dark as shit. If you have 4 or less memory, choose a character with Megami in its name in your waiting room and 1 card in your memory, swap them. Which does, okay, so this could kind of help with, if you do put, like, say, copies of, well, no. Yeah, because it says 1 card in your memory. If you do the Tomoyas that go face down, you can swap the face down Tomoyas with a Megami or something and then fix that. So then you'd have characters in memory again, and so it can fix itself in that regard. So that is cool. This is cool too. Pay 1 rest this. Choose one of your opponent's characters. That character can't stand during your opponent's next stand phase. Really hinders some of the standby decks and stuff. So definitely something to watch out for if you're standby deck going up against Saekano. Oh, this is crazy. Okay. When you use this card's backup, if you have 3 or more game characters in memory, choose one of your battling characters this turn. It gains the ability pay 1. When the opponent becomes reversed, to send that character to clock. A clock shoot backup. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I don't think I've ever seen this before. Effect-wise. This is really cool. So, that's neat. Let's see. We got events. What the fuck? I was like, oh, that's cool, Mega Man. Your opponent mills 24 cards. Okay. That's just funny right there. Cool, happy birthday, Megami. Okay, sorry, what did the other one say? It's a bunch of buffs to give specifically just Megami. So, insert the just Monica meme, but for just Megami. Then we have... So we have mostly gold bars, but then the one other weird one. So we have 4 double rares in red. So let's get to this. Also, very, very cultured right there. I never thought to ask 12 who his favorite is. So, Anyway, 00500 Megumi. At the start of your opponent's attack phase, if there is a character in the slot across from this, you may move this to an empty front row slot, so free runner. When this is reversed, if you have no red cards in your memory, you may send this to your memory, so just free. If this is in memory at the start of your main phase, pay 1, pitch 1. If you do, choose up to 1 climax in your hand and reveal it. Choose 1 climax in your waiting room with a different color than the card you revealed and swap them. So it's essentially a climax swapper that you can do every single turn, which is a little more beneficial if you have, say, cards like Pants or Gold Bar that are getting them to your hand, one or the other, not both. I wouldn't run both, I'm just stating. If you ran one or the other and you trigger it and you're like, okay, cool, I add this one to hand, so that the next time I do this particular effect right here, I can grab the other one that I need. Say if it's like a choice trigger or a salvage trigger that you obviously can't grab itself, it kind of lets you do a little bit of swapping there. It's a little weird and probably not the best way to use that, not when there's already another card or 2 in the set that do climax swapping. That's just me. But I mean, it's there. It counts as one of your memory cards for other shenanigans. So this 1045 Megumi, for each other back row game character that you have, this gets 500 power. Just say for, like, it's really fucking weird. So it becomes a 1055. On attack, if you have the door climax in your climax area and you have 2 or more other game characters, mill 2, choose 1 level X or lower game character in your waiting room, add it to hand. If you added a level 3 or higher character, choose one of your opponent's characters, you may return it to hand. X is equal to the level of the sum of the cards milled by this effect. Okay, once again, the whole 3 or higher thing coming into play, which is still kind of cool. You do have to get lucky on the mill, but if you're able to add back like an early play level 3 or something, that could be very beneficial. It could also be very beneficial. It's on attack. You could bounce something that's like annoying or some shit. You don't have to reverse. Still very nice. The 1045 Utaha, if you have 2 or more other game characters, just in general, this gets 1,000. Once again, this, boom, should be here. Just saying. When this card's battle opponent is reversed, if you have the standby in your climax area, search your deck for a game character, add it to hand. So we do have some Utaha standby shenanigans. I believe we had that in the first, either the first or second set as well. So I don't know. I don't remember. It's been a minute. And then we have the 3-2 Utaha is a 9K. 4 or more game characters minus the level in hand. Really easy early play conditions. If all of your characters are game characters, they get this gets 1,500 power and character encore. This is also very nice. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can pay 1 stock to add back any climax. So there you go. Very, very easy to pull off whatever the fuck you need. We have so this is the rares and onward. This lets you do some top check shenanigans if you have 2 or more memory. And the way this is worded, it's like face up or face down. Doesn't matter. So this does let you summon that level 3 entity we talked about at the very beginning that summons the other Utaha. We have more Megumi. So we have Megumi in... What do we have? No, we had entity. I don't know why I was... We have Megumi in green and red. Utaha in green and red. So let's sloop that down. Let's see. Pay 4 rest this to summon the entity, which is, that feels a little costly. You're already paying 1 to summon this, and it's a global 1K, which is very nice. Like, that's good in general. That feels a little hefty, even for like change stuff. I don't know. I'm weird. That feel. Oh no, because also the entity wanted you to like get rid of a lot of cards from hand or some shit. So if you're gonna, I don't know. It just feels really weird if you're gonna pitch them like that. I don't know. It's whatever. 3-2 Megami. On attack with the door, pay 1. Look at up to 5 cards from the top of your opponent's deck. Choose up to 5 amongst them, send to waiting room, and put the rest back. So really trying to dig in there and go, oh, how many climaxes we gonna see? Get rid of them all. So that's kind of cool. I like that. And that's on a rare. I would run the fuck out of this. Just saying. It's a then we have another 3-2. A lot of 3-2 Megamis here. And the 3-2 Utaha, number 69. Anyway. Let's see. On play, you get to dig equal to the number of game characters you have, which is nice. Because it's also add any card, you could add climaxes, but it doesn't really matter. On attack, pay 1, pitch 2, burn 1, then choose 1 card in your opponent's waiting room, place it on top of their deck. Interesting. On play, from hand or by the auto effect of the entity, this heals 1. So that's it for the synergy between the two of them. Okay. Whatever. Let's see. Okay, so we do have a... Sorry, that said reunite. I'm going back over this to make certain I didn't miss that. Okay, no. So we do have a reunite Utaha. Oh, yeah. The reunite was like years after the fact, and they came back. Okay, yeah. It's like the very final moments of the movie. So 3, 2, 10k. If you had the standby, so you could do a 8 standby. Just saying. Pay 2 to deal 2. Actually, this is very reasonable. You also you can discard another copy of this when you attack to heal 1. So it's kind of cool. This could do a lot of shenanigans. I could see some fun with this. I might be mucking with Utaha. I don't know. A reunite Tomoya. Oh, okay. You can play characters with reunite in its name and climaxes without meeting color requirements on a level 0 uncommon. What? Yo, reunite be looking fly. Oh, hold on now. Okay. So, okay. So, here's my question. Does reunite have to be in the name of the climax, or can you just or the way this is worded, can you just play any climax without meeting color requirement? I'm sorry, the last time I saw this effect was like a fucking double rare that was balls expensive. You could just play this in any deck and just toss it in the back and not give a shit, because it's still a brainstormer uncommon. Pay 1, rest this, mill 4. For each, you get to salvage back. When a climax is placed in your climax area, choose one of your characters with reunite. It gets on attack, draw 1, pitch 1. Negligible to just be able to have a decent brainstormer, just a regular salvage casual brainstormer, to make it so you can play climaxes without meeting color requirement. That's kind of major. I feel this is going to have some very interesting play. That's just me. I don't know. I'm not saying that Saekano is going to fucking make waves in the meta scene, but I like seeing unique effects like that. It's very cool. It gives the mill runner effect to a character. Okay, cool. Interesting. Anti-change memory kick. Fun. And it can send itself to memory. Interesting. For each... Okay, so this is a decent little standby target, but it doesn't have Encore. That's fair. We got some can side without getting the soul penalty. So I realize I'm looking at the clock every now and then and glancing and going, oh, I need to move on. Let's see. But sorry, the fucking Tomoya's been like just throwing curveballs left and right at me today. What the fuck, man? I have to talk so much more today. What the hell? Okay, so this works with searching a set 2 Utaha and Eri level 3. So it's benefiting set 1 and set 2. We got vanillas in the year of our Lord 2024. So a level 3 Slayer. When damage you take is cancelled, you may return this to hand. Interesting. A 2/2 counter event. Heal up to 2. At the end of the next turn, put the top 2... This does the exact opposite of the other Izumi shit of trying to push yourself with damage and then heal. Versus this is heal, then take damage. What the fuck? I don't know, man. Whatever. We got a door climax, a standby, a door, and another standby. All right. Hey, to the blue with Michiru. Here we go, best girl. So we have a Just a singular double rare. She only gets like 1%, man. Come on. We have a 0015. When a climax is placed in your climax area, look at the top card of your deck. Put it on top or bottom of your deck or into your waiting room. You just choose where the fuck it gets thrown. And it's a brainstormer. Pay 1, rest this, mill 4 for each climax. Search your deck for a game character. Cool. And that's it for the double rares for Blue. Red got all the fucking double rares. They swept the game awards. I get it because they're all game characters. Anyway, shut up, Billy. At the start of your attack phase, if you have another music character, choose a pants in your climax area, 1 climax in your waiting room, and you may swap them? Oh! That's interesting. So you can play any pants trigger and swap them. So if you're running like an 8 pants deck, it doesn't matter as much. But if you still run this with like in another deck that's running pants, you could play that and then just swap it later on. That's really cool. I actually don't think I've ever seen that kind of like climax swap effect. Typically it's swapping in hand to be able to play later. But this is, it's just because you have to play the pants and then you're good, as opposed to having to pay any stock or anything else. That's actually really nice. I'm just throwing that out there. Granted, once again, in the year of our Lord, fucking, 2024, we have card effects that state, oh, play climaxes without color requirement, so. And it has an act, it's whatever, okay. Something that affects the level, the set 1, level 3 Michiru. I think that's the one that does the resonate shenanigans. Oh, yeah. All of your other of that level 3 Michiru climax combo effect mills +1 more from the bottom of your opponent's deck. A lot of people refer to that one for like the basically free on attack, make your opponent mill the bottom 4 cards of their deck to the waiting room to do some burn damage. So this makes it mill 5. Actually, you can make it stack if you play 2 of these. You can make a mill 6. Just stating. Because it doesn't state you can't like have others. Anyway. And typical level assist. So this is going to be very good for me to pick up. Another 3/2 Michiru. On play, draw 2, pitch 1. If you do on attack, pitch 2, look up to 2. Interesting. Okay. We got Tokino. Oh yeah. I don't see a reunite. Okay, reunite Michiru. We do have that. If you have another reunite Tomoya, is that the one that gives the? I think that was the one that gives the. Doesn't have to meet color requirement. And then this gains 4K power, so it becomes a base 1055 with twin drive. Okay. Sorry, I realized I didn't read the rest of that. Okay, cool. We got Ronko, Echika. A 3/2 Echika that grabs the set 1 Michiru. I realize I know what the set one Michiru is, but future me, please put a picture of the set 1 Michiru on screen. It's this one. A lot of people refer back to this one for like her particular climax combo. It was Icy Tail. That's what. Yeah, it was like the Icy Tail Michiru. That's what it was. Very easy early play condition. And once again, lets you grab back that set 1 Michiru. Very nice, very nice. Because you want to drop as many of those as possible. So, definitely, I will definitely be picking up this set, if nothing else. Or at least nothing else, I'll be grabbing the fucking blue cards. The blue cards in the previous sets have been very fucking cheap. Okay. On play pitch. See, typically for the like on play pitch or climax, you do salvage, but this is a you get to search instead. Pretty cool. When you use this card's backup, that's the Leafa backup. Okay, cool. When you use the backup, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a game character, you add it to hand and discard a card. There's a level 2. There's a level 2 Leafa from SAO that does something very similar. The level of the character across with you. So well, quite a few level 3 Slayers in this set. Interesting. Cool. And we have a 3/2 event. Your opponent. Sorry, I saw this and immediately was like, I need to read this. Oh, God. Your opponent chooses 2 climaxes from their waiting room and shuffles all other cards from their waiting room into their deck. Then choose one of your characters and it gets 5k power till end of the turn. So a little bit of decompression, but they don't get climaxes, 2 climaxes back in. Very nice. We have one pants trigger in total. Interesting. Okay, cool. We have promos. Editing promo. A spammable act to pay 1 to give a game character +1 soul. When damage dealt by, it's a level 0. That's if damage dealt by this is not canceled, it gets +6k power. So it just becomes a 007k for no reason. Oh man. Gotcha. I'm just glancing over. More Michiru promo. Interesting. So on the JP side, I'm assuming this isn't going to be on the English side. Promo for buying 3 booster boxes. There was a reprint of the free fresh counter. It says W56, which should be set 1. Yeah, set 1 as well. Interesting. A drop searcher promo, but it also, even if it has a different name, you can't run like 8 copies of the drop searcher. Interesting. Also, it's like overframe rare for the promo. Cool. I don't know if we're going to be getting these promos. We might. Who knows? Just stating. And that is going to be it for the set. This is really cool. I realize Saekano is probably not going to be making waves anytime soon, but I very much like a lot of the effects that I saw in this set. If I miss something, like a level 0 has a crit trigger or something else, I'm sorry. But for the most part, I think we've covered a lot of the cooler stuff in this set. I'm just going to end on this one with the fucking Tomoya. I said this is kind of crazy for just being able to play climaxes without meeting color requirements. And even the other set that I've seen this in, that being the Bofuri. I was like, I remember Maple's name. The Bofuri set. While it's not like topping events or anything, it does have crazy effects like this. So I do like to see the unique effects like this, and I will credit any set that does that no matter what. So really cool, Saekano. I'm very much impressed for this one, as opposed to, I think set 2 didn't impress me as much by comparison, but you know, if you gotta, if it's a finale and you gotta end on a banger, it definitely delivered on some very interesting, cool effects. I will admit that. So that's going to be it for this one. I'll be hyped when this does eventually drop in April, and I'm recording this in January. So thank y'all very much for watching. It is greatly appreciated. Please like and subscribe if you want. If not, hey, thanks for stopping by to check out the video. Please comment down below, actually, what your favorite girl from Saekano is. Let me know. So doing so lets me know that you watched up to this point. And with that, we will see y'all on the flip side. Peace out for now.